Well, hello there guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with another video. And today's video is actually one requested by one of you guys. You asked me to do an A380 comparison video. Now, as you can see here in front of you, I've got 5 A380s that is available in my collection as of now. So hopefully this one should be alright. And the reason why I have the 5 A380s in front of you, because I want to compare the size and see whether it scales up with the 1 in 400 airport mat that I have laid out here on my living room floor. As you can see here, now the mat itself is, sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to pick the camera up here just for a minute so you can see what I've actually done. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in a little and focus here. So you can see here the airport mat is actually a square format, and it's actually a very nice durable paper card. It's got a very nice matte print to it, and the size of this mat is roughly 28.4 by 27.4 inches. It's about 27 from the width and 28 height. So that's basically a squarish format. And as you can see here, this is actually not bad. I actually got this mat from Vietnam. It's actually not too bad. It's a budget mat. It's not too expensive, and it's a 400 scale. It matches up with a 400 scale model, as you can see here. But unfortunately, I've got various planes that is not actually to scale with each other. I've got Majorette, I've got Wellies, and of course a couple of Phoenix and Gemini jets here, and a couple of Temu models, you know. And of course, well, a couple of three of the ground vehicles here, which are practically Majorette, and those are 1 in 64 scale vehicles. And as you can see here, so we're gonna be talking about the scales of the A380 and which one matches up. And I'm also gonna be scaling the A380s together with the other airplanes like the 747 or with the Majorettes, and see which ones are appropriate for this particular mat. Now we'll go into all that later in the video. So first of all, we're just going to compare sizes of the A380 first. So first up, let's take a closer look at the Majorette A380 in Airbus industry color. So let's just zoom that in. And as you can see here, this is actually a very nice airplane. Very, very nice one. This is the smallest of the A380s that I have. And this one is an all heavy die-cast metal construction. There are there's not much plastic on this one apart from the black tires. These are all plastic. These are non-rollable wheels. These are all fully stuck in there. So, but for airport display, this is actually a very nice addition to an airport, diorama display piece. So it's actually not too bad. I mean, Majorette, the company that made this is actually from France, but the factory that produces these models are actually from Thailand, and they actually make very, very nice, high quality cars, which are 1 in 64 scale, and of course, these 1/700 scale airplanes. Now, the A380 and the rest of the Majorette planes that I have on the left side here, these are roughly, I found out on the internet that some sources say these are between a 500 to maybe 700 scale. But when I measured, when I did the scaling, I found out that these are not very close to being 500 scales. I mean, they may be. I might be wrong, but if you guys can tell me, the size of these planes correctly down in the comments below, because when I'm doing this video, I'm actually using my gut feelings and according to scale. Because when I measured according to my Wellies, this is the Wellies A380, okay, decorated in the Airways color scheme. Now if I look at it side by side, you can clearly see that the Majorette, let me just do like this. As you can see here, the Majorette is a lot smaller than the Wellies. Now the Wellies, the scale of the Wellies is about, I'm guessing, around the 500 to 600 scale mark, whereas this one is a 700, because due to the size, you can clearly see it is 1 time smaller than the Wellies. So, as you can clearly see, now if we compare it with the Malaysia Airlines, this is the model, aircraft model, the budget model from Temu, which you can get from China or from Temu, you know, and you can clearly see the size difference here. These are really, I mean, it's a lot smaller. So, I mean, comparing the Wellies with the Malaysia Airlines, they're roughly almost the same size. From my camera angle, I mean, I'm not sure whether you can pick this up, where you can see that, but it does look maybe slightly longer, maybe from the Wellies point of view. Hang on a second, guys, hang on a second. From my eyesight, I'm seeing there is just a slight difference in size. Maybe the Wellies is slightly larger, just by a little. Yeah, so we're talking about, according to sources that said that this particular model, these 16 centimeter models are 400 scale, but they are so wrong. I mean, whoever came up with a 400 scale format for this plane, that scaling is so wrong. I've heard people complain and said these are not the right scale. I mean, it's not 400. The Dubai Expo is a classic 400 scale. You can clearly tell the size difference between that one and this one. I mean, if you look at the, sorry, let me just put the Majorette out of the way here. Okay, we bring in the Dubai Expo. This is actually a very heavy duty model here. Very expensive. Now, I don't want to drop this because this is actually one of my prize models. This is one of the best. So we're just gonna like zoom in here. Okay, there we go. And so if you look at it from the side angle, I have to grab it like this, guys, so we don't drop both of them. You can clearly see that there is a big major difference. I mean, you can't, this is not 400, this is a 400. So yeah, there's a very big difference in the size. Now I'm not sure if you can see this very well, guys. Okay. Now, I think the best way to do this, if I picked up the camera, so we can actually do a size comparison from all corners. So we'll be right back, guys, because this angle here is because I'm doing this on the floor, so it's kind of not easy for me to do this. So bear with me on this one, guys. I'll be right back after I've positioned these planes all in a line, so you can see for yourself the size difference. Okay, guys, you can see here I have put 3 A380s side by side. You can see here, so I got the Gemini Jets version here. I got the Wellies and the Majorette. Now from the largest to the smallest. So, but I've seen something that will, I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but I'm gonna have to scooch down a little. Hang on here, guys. And there's my cat in the background. And there he is. He's looking at the airplanes. And that a big boy right there. Okay, so here we go. Now, if you can see here, guys, the A380 Dubai Expo is the largest one right in front of us, right? But if you look at the background, at the two A380s, the Welly's A380s and the Majorette A380, it kind of creates the illusion that there are two A380s, but they're kind of like in the distance. So it looks like we've got like 3 of the same scale A380s, but actually they're not. It creates the illusion like they're further from each other, so it has that angle, right? So like one is actually further out, so it's like a distance variation here. So, but unfortunately that's not the case. Okay, but 3 planes, 3 different scales, one 400 and the other one is a 500 or a 600 and then a 700 scale. Now I got some Welly's planes here as well, which are perfect for this airport mat, and I'm going to be scaling them side by side together so you can clearly see for yourself what I'm on about here. Okay, so hang on a second, guys. While we get back to that, I'm going to bring out the rest of my Wellies and we're going to park them side by side here on the airport tarmac. And then after the Wellies, we're going to go right on to the Majorettes. Okay, as you can see here, I put all 6 Welly airplanes side by side to one another so you can see for yourself the size scale of these airplanes. Now, the one plane that is out of scale is the Concorde. The Concorde is a little on the long end. Now, we're going to show you that in just a few minutes, but so we'll just show you guys the difference between there's the A380, there's the A340, which is on the short end, and then down we go, smallest of the planes, down we go, up to the MD-11. Now I put them all side by side in an angle like this, so you can see for yourself that the tail is slightly on the short end from one another. It's not very long. I mean, these planes are actually to scale with each other, so these are actually between 500 to the 600 mark. Okay, and then the Concorde, unfortunately, is somewhere between a 600. No, sorry, hang on a second. I think this one is roughly about, I think it's more than a 400 scale. Yeah, I think this is roughly around maybe a 450 scale. I'm guessing 450 because Concorde is very long. I mean, if you compare it with the A380, I mean, it is very, very long. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just gonna try my best to take the Concorde and then see the size difference. You can see, I mean, tail to tail. I mean, there's the tail and there's the front. I'm actually measuring this correctly, guys. I mean, I'm not exaggerating here. That's the end of the tail, you know, the Concorde's tail to the tip of the tail of the A380. And you can clearly see that the Concorde's nose cone is sticking out to the very front of the A380. Now, in reality, the Concorde is a lot shorter than the A380. And it's a lot slightly shorter than the A340 as well. And then the 777, as you can see here, look at that. It's way too long. And there's the 767. It's even longer. And then moving down to the smallest one, MD-11. Look at that. So, practically, this plane is out of scale. It does not scale well with the other Welly planes. But for airport play, it's okay. If you're a kid doing this, you know, playing with this sort of airport diorama, it's no problem. I mean, you can use your imagination and you can exaggerate the size differences, but if you want this to be accurate as best as possible, I won't recommend that Concorde. I think the best Concorde to get is either the Herpa 1 in 500 scale Herpa Concorde or the 400 scale Concorde from Gemini Jets or Phoenix. That's the better choice if you want to scale it with these planes, including those two 400 scale planes that I have over here, the Dubai Expo, and of course the Thai Airways A747-400. Now that is a beautiful airplane, guys. I really like that Thai Airways. That's a classic vintage livery. I really like the stripes on these planes. There's a really awesome stuff here, guys. And of course, this is one of my all-time favorite livery, the Dubai Expo. It's so colorful. I really like colorful liveries. That's why I bought this one, guys. It's super awesome. Tell me, guys, let me know in the comments below, guys, whether if you guys have ever owned the Dubai Expo. Give me a shout out below. Alright? And I've also brought out my Matchbox Skybusters A320. This American Airlines A320. This is the shortest of the Neos. Okay? And I've also compared the size difference between the Maisto 737-10. And it is very, very close. I mean, in reality, these two planes will be more or less to scale with each other. And these two toy/models actually represents that. So it is actually very close. Okay? Because, I mean, the Maisto 737-10 is actually a very nice looking airplane here, guys. I've reviewed this one last time, so you can actually check out my videos, my past videos on these Maisto models, which I did. I think I did a very quick outdoor review with this one. Yep, it was an outdoor review. Feel free to check that one out, guys. And this is actually awesome. I mean, good for airport diorama, as you can see here. Alright, and as for this MD-80, this is the McDonnell Douglas MD-80 airplane. Okay, this one is in fantasy livery, City Eagle from Majorette as well. I actually got this one from Thailand. I bought this directly from Thailand when I was staying over there with my wife. Okay, and I found this in the supermarket, and it came together with this Volkswagen airport truck. Yeah, it came together with this as a one set. And this one, what I like about these Majorette cars, that it comes with opening features, much like the Matchbox moving parts range. So this one has got an opening hood, so it's got an engine in there, which you can see. It's all black though. Not sure if you can see that. Let me just zoom that in. There we go. We got a very nice Volkswagen logo, and there's your engine details there. It says number 5. It says follow me at the back. Very, very accurate airport colors here. Very, very nice. I like the number 5 written there. Nice silver paint for the rims. Of course, the light bar at the top here is a separate clear plastic color, painted in orange clear plastic, which is not like the Matchbox, which is one color, same as the windscreen and the windows. But Majorette has done a brilliant job by separating the two. So you got a separate colored clear plastic part there, and a separate clear plastic part for the canopy. So that's awesome stuff here, guys. Okay, now moving on. So we got the Majorette airplanes, the rest of them. So we got the DC-10 here, Swiss Airlines. We got the 787-9. Boeing colors, and of course Lufthansa A350-900. That's one of the newer ones, been released over the last 2-3 years. And then we've got a Lufthansa 747-400. Now these are practically to scale with each other, except for the A380. Now this one is not to scale, unfortunately. If we put it side by side, I mean, this one is a lot larger than that plane. I thought that they might be to scale, but they're not. Apparently they're not to scale. Yeah, I mean, Majorette has made this one smaller than this one, so I'm not really sure. I really wish that they made this one slightly larger, so it more or less to scale with each other. So yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. But and then we got the MD-80 here as well, which is also to scale with these two. Okay, and this MD-80 is also to scale. I noticed, I found out that it is to scale with the Wellys. Yeah, it is to scale with the Wellys. So there's the A380, because the MD-80 is actually a very small plane. So yeah, it is to scale, more or less. So this one is about between 500 scale. So this is roughly about a 500 scale. This is a 500 scale airplane. So yeah, these are to scale with the MD-80s. So that's pretty good. Because if you put them side by side with the MD-11, let's just grab the MD-11 here for a second. Okay, let's just put the Concorde out of the way. Just put the MD-11 there. Okay. So just put it like that. And there you go. Okay. I mean, you can see the size difference between the two planes. MD-80 is a smaller plane compared with the MD-11, because this is actually a one row plane, not a wide body airplane here. Okay, single aisle. This one's to scale. This Majorette is to scale with the Wellys. Now, as for the rest of these planes, now the 747. These planes, okay, the 747, the A350-900, the 787 Dreamliner, and of course the DC-10, these are practically to scale with each other, more or less to scale. And these are not 500 scale, these are on the 700 scale mark, okay? But the A380, unfortunately, this one is roughly between... This one is more than 700 scale here. This one is roughly about 750 scale, I think, because since this one is slightly smaller than the 747 Majorette, so I'm not sure, guys. I mean, it's slightly on the short side, so I'm guessing 750 scale. So I may be wrong, but I'm just guessing here because I'm scrounging up numbers. So I mean, this airport mat, you can clearly see for yourself, this is actually pretty good. If you want to play airport, no problem. This airport mat, even though it's 1/400 scale, but it's still the best option for airport play or airport diorama. It doesn't matter what scale. I mean, I don't mind if it's a 400 scale or 500, 400 scale, 400, 500, 600, or a 700 scale airplane model, I mean, lined up here. I mean, it's no problem. I mean, but if you guys are into scale, if you're really fixed on a particular scale, go for the 400 scales. 400 scales are the best ones, but unfortunately, they are on the pricey side. They are a little expensive nowadays. That's why I've only got these two. I mean, I'm kind of like on a budget here, so that's why I'm getting only the smaller planes, like the Skybusters, you know, or the Majorettes. But I've actually got these Majorettes for quite some time now, but I didn't actually did a proper review for you guys. I think I might do that in a later video, like I'll show you up close, you know, details of these planes properly for you guys in a later video. But today's video is all about showing you the scale. Just the scale of these planes that I was able to put up, that I was able to get for you guys. Now I know one of you guys who asked for an A380 comparison. I hope it's okay for you because, I mean, it's the best I could do, but the least I can do is compare the A380 compared with the other planes as well. So at least, I'm not trying to make a very short video here. I'm trying to make it as long as possible so that I can show you a little more detail here comparing with the Wellys, you know, the Gemini jets or the Majorette, and maybe there's a Matchbox as well and one Maisto, you know, compare them all. So at least you can get an idea of what they look like. Alright, so there you have it, guys. Hope you guys liked today's video. And if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And I've been very thankful for your support, guys. And of course, and a little shout out to you guys for voting on the Matchbox Action Drivers Farm Adventure playset. That's coming very soon, guys. So I'm actually going to be doing a video of that one for you guys. That's going to be a fun one, and it's going to slowly expand my little city range in my Matchbox Action Driver city. So yeah, that's going to be a great one. And alright, so there you go, guys. So hopefully we'll see you again till the next one. So I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a great day. Cheers. See you around.